All right. Before I get started here, I want to make sure, can anybody hear me? If you can, please let me know in the stream chat right now. That way I can see if I can adjust this. If you guys can hear me, just let me know. I'll give you a moment. Okay, that's one, and then okay, cool. I mean, as long as we at least have somewhere to start off with, that's pretty good with me. Hello, everyone that's watching, and hello for anyone that's almost about to be in here. Do welcome you guys from coming into the live stream here. It's a possibility. I'm going to actually have my friend Damien Skyfire possibly call me via Skype, so you're probably going to hear him and me talking soon. It's a possibility. But at the same time, we were also supposed to have another person in here that we were supposed to rip apart. He was someone who I debated before, along with in the Skype debate with my two friends. I think it was Mason and Shades. I did a debate with a person named Limon Suk. Now, Limon Suk happened to be this pedo apologist who I tore into, and a big, huge debacle of controversy just spewed all over that. And apparently, the guy decided to keep going on with his solo shenanigans from months ago from the video that I actually had posted up, which was basically months ago. So before I get into that, I want to make sure and look into the video date of when that video was uploaded. This video was uploaded at March 13th, 2018. So yeah, we are talking months ago, but there was a lot of shit on here that I have to cover. And if we get to it, we get to all of it. I'm not sure if it's all in order, but I'm just going to read off what I have here. But before I do that, let me just kind of go over a few things real quick, which kind of upsetted me from last night. It's regarding Google. That's one thing on my shit list that I really need to go over, and I better hope to get some satisfaction out of this. I'm not really one to be a snob when it comes to this, but yesterday I went into a stream and I decided to donate. I wanted to donate about $5 to a super chat. Now I can obviously tell like how to increase a donation thing. When you turn it to the left, you actually decrease the donation. If you turn it to the right, you increase the donation. You can do that to about maybe up to $500 from what I can do, or all the way to $1 if you do something like that. The thing about this is that I wanted to donate $5 in that sense. Now, in the sense of donating money, there is a money amount that they do display on top of right next to the username that you're going to be donating to. But the problem is that unlike Twitch streaming or PayPal or any other types, they tell you, okay, you are about to donate this amount of money. Are you okay doing this? Or they'll tell you like, okay, you are about to donate this type of money. And pretty much you look over it and you review it. When I looked up to it, I only saw an amount that went up to $400, and I thought for a moment it was like, wait a minute. And I wasn't even quite sure, because the only thing I did, because I did check this, I went to $5. There is no way in hell that I swiped this all the way to $400 when I, in fact, looked at it closely, had it swiped to only $5. That was the minimum amount that I wanted to donate. So I ended up donating about $400 out of nowhere because of some sort of malfunction or whatnot. And some people could be like, oh, maybe you're just stupid and you didn't pay attention to the fact that you swiped to the right. No, I actually had it swiped to the left. And I'm highly disappointed. Even the thought of this really disgusts me. And yes, I will get back onto that guy. I understand. I don't know what his deal is, but so I immediately got help from a few friends to a refund link trying to get my $400 back, and that's still currently in the process. I still haven't gotten it back. I don't know. It might take about 7 days because it's still in the process of going through. From certain cases, from what I heard, sometimes you don't even get that money back. But the thing about it is, I only had it. It was donated about an hour ago, yesterday, during that stream, and I ended up using the link, within that hour. So hopefully something goes through. I mean, usually if it's like days ago or months ago, yeah, definitely you're not going to get it back. But I think it's ridiculous the fact that I I ended up having to lose $400 because of some stupid ass fucking, I don't know if it was a malfunction or a fucking glitch or whatnot, because I only meant to donate $5, then again 400. So if I don't get this $400 back, I'm probably gonna have to file a dispute, which sucks. I don't want to do that, but hopefully something does go through. And yes, I will be careful next time, because to avoid that, I'm not going to be using super chats ever again. So I probably won't even use super chats for my channel like ever at all. So that way no one goes to the exact same crap that I go through. So I think that's ridiculous. I learned my lesson the hard way. And that's another reason why I don't trust Google that much, because this sort of shit certainly pisses me off. It's not even the first thing on my mind right now that it's been just getting on my mind, but other stuff as well. So, in other regards, paranoia, it's something that I'm dealing with, but trying to get over at this point is just something that it's been a real challenge, and it's been really kind of hard. Um, I kind of feel like a dummy sometimes. And speaking of dummies, all right, Slappy, come here. Since Halloween is approaching, I figure this is just the mask, by the way, that's on him. So I figured, kind of to break the ice a little bit, I kind of bring Slappy out here. If you watched Goosebumps before, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mask off real quick, because this is the real look. He's not the actual ventriloquist dummy, but this is something that was really cool for me, because when I was a kid, when I was watching Goosebumps, Slappy was in fact my favorite villain of the entire Goosebumps series, and he looks a lot real. Via this right here, in that other certain regards. Well, see, that's the thing about it, Lemmy, is that I actually didn't type the amount in. There's a point where you can swipe it. There's like a little point you actually can click on the dot and you swipe. And the thing about it is I slid it to the left, and I didn't really adjust the amount, because I didn't really type in anything else. I just went to that and then pretty much typed in what I wanted to say, and then pretty much like that. It's weird. I mean, I could go over and try to do an experimentation, because thank God I took my card stuff off. So, for example, I'll go to a live stream right now. So we're going to test this right now. Hold on, Slappy buddy. I got to do something here. Live stream. And yes, my internet's going to probably... Trust me, I'm not going to be doing any of that. I took my stuff off, so it's fine. Okay, so some people turn off live chat on there for some reason. Oh, come on, people. Here we go. That's why. Live now. All right. Okay, I guess some people don't really have super chats on here. Some people. That's actually pretty cool. His story. Oh yeah, the Goosebump, dude. I love the Goosebump books. I have a collection somewhere, and it actually kind of started when I was trying to actually get the third book of Night of the Living Dummy 3, and then I noticed on Amazon that this guy was available. I was like, dude, I had to have him for Halloween. Like, he would be a perfect decoration, because I'm also getting together a little demon dog house for Halloween and a fog machine, and I figured it'd be so cool. I'll have Slappy next to my door, my front door, and have the dog house out to the right, having them just look and be creepy and scary and just staring. And I'm also going to be wearing a tuxedo, and I'm going to be wearing this while holding them, dude, so that way it'd be cool. Yeah, Damien, not that demon dog, a different demon dog. I see. I knew where you going with that, by the way. Oh my gosh, everyone's disabling like super chat. I want to do that certain thing where I can actually take a look. Huh. It's weird. Yeah. I guess I can do that. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just not going to bother because it's pretty much not giving me what I'm looking for. So we'll come back to that in a moment, but we're going to get into the topic of what Damien Skyfire, who's the guy who was shouting out for my live stream, the guy I wanted you to go check out. Uh, let's see. If he gets a chance, he might. No promises. I can't guarantee anything, but if he can, he might be able to come on and talk to me via Skype. So with that and such, Dog a vampire dog. Oh boy, Damien, I love you, bro. All right, Slappy buddy, I'm gonna have to put you here. You know, the first time when I actually went to bed, I thought he was gonna come to life, but because we all have that paranoia about ventriloquist dummies and all that other stuff. Speaking of which, his signature card is here somewhere. I just had it. Where did it go? Yeah, I'm expecting him to show up too. Let's see. Hold on one little second. I know that card is around here. Oh, it's right here. So Slappy came with this right here, and one thing that I would never do, one of the smart things never to do, is to read this. Now, I'm not saying obviously that it's going to automatically bring this thing to life. Obviously, I don't know. Just tempt fate here. Karu Marie Odana Loma Malanu Karano. Holy shit! The moment I started reading this, that thing started moving. I nearly just pissed my pants for a moment. I'm not even kidding. Okay. Look, I'm not even joking. Like the moment I started doing that, he started moving. Ugh. You know what? No, no, no. You know what? You want to come back in? Come back in. I'm gonna have you right here. You're gonna be my little. You're gonna be my co-captain here. You're gonna pretty much be my second in command for this. So with this, I'm gonna keep an eye in case those eyes turn because you know how pretty much in creepy as goosebump movies with Slappy, his eyes tend to like. That's what I like to call Midnight of the Living Dummy. Anyways, with that now in mind, what we've been waiting for, there are some things that I wanted to go over, which was in regards in between Lee Suk and Damien Skyfire. So I wanted to kind of go over some shit that I pretty much saw, which I couldn't see on the video, but I was able to see in my channel settings. So we're going to go over this real quick. There's pretty much a lot to go through, but we're going to just try to get through as much as we can because I really want to see what this Lee Suk really has to really say and why he wants to keep preaching this pedo apologist bullshit. So let's go to community. Which, speaking of which, Damien, I got to talk to Stevie and see how he does his streaming stuff because I want to kind of do exactly what he does. You know what? I want to actually be. You know what, Damien? I'm gonna promote you as a moderator. You're gonna be a moderator for my streaming in case if you ever come by. There we go. Okay, so how do I go through all of this? Like, where do I start? So in case if it gets really out of control, and in case Lee Suk really does anything like horrible, if he does get in the stream, you can at least control the situation a little bit. It's understandable. That's fine. So like I said, we're gonna go through this as much as we can. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna. This is probably not gonna be in order, but I'm just gonna read off what this Shin On is saying it's pretty much supposed to be the same guy. So let's go through this one here. So that was said a day ago to Damien Skyfire here from Limon Sukor, Shin On. He says, stop insulting people. It makes you look only stupid. Conservative propaganda and fake news are not proper sources. Get an education and stop being a baby. Laws are not well established or understood. They are based only on interpretation of said law. Okay, Limon Suk, if you are actually watching this by any chance, you do realize that certain laws in this country are set for certain reasons. Okay? It is to protect those from shitheads like that. The examples of, I don't know, federal law and state law. Again, I would have to say to you again. Federal law and state law are still different. Federal law trumps state law. So it does not matter, for example, if you were an adult and you lived in the United States, say Nevada, and you decided to engage in sexual activity with a person who is at the age of 16. That won't matter because in federal law, you are not allowed to do that. Trumps state law, which means that you would be in violation of that law, of said laws, just instead for interpretation. It is not for interpretation if it's already written, said in stone. If the law is written in a certain country that says that you cannot do this, it is specifically clear that you cannot do it. I'm kind of surprised I'm keeping my cool with this because I would really be shouting my lungs out. Laws are not well established and understood. Get that shit out of here. And yeah, I'm using an Undertaker Freak 1127 move here. By the way, if you like, also watch the King of the Hill version of that. I just had that uploaded last night. So he says again to Damien Skyfire, which was also a day ago. To Damien, because you are one. Nobody believes your lies. You are a conservative, and nothing you say will ever change that. Stop being conservative. Get an education and learn some manners. Nobody wants to waste their time listening to conservatives like you. Learn to show respect to others and stop procrastinating. Lee Monsu, can I ask you something? How is it that defending kids from people like that is conservative? And as a matter of fact, why does conservative have to be conservatism isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't support conservatism. You know, it's not my not really my cup of tea. It's just not more of where I'm siding with. Okay, I don't side with conservatism. I'm pretty much a centrist. But I'm not saying that conservatism is extraordinarily a bad thing. But what I'm saying is that defending little kids from adults or from shitheads like you is the right thing to do. Not in the sense of the law, but also in the sense of the right thing, because they're not mentally developed for these kind of things. So you're going to just tell me it's just okay for them to do that because it's just natural. No, it ain't fucking natural. If that kid is not well developed to understand the functionality of his or her body, they're not going to understand what the fuck they're going through. I don't care about the fucking age at this point. If they don't understand this, and this could go from people who suffer from like cerebral palsy or some sort of mental condition, you still don't do that. That is still not acceptable, and there's still no excuse for that. So do not tell me and do not preach to me something about being a conservative is so evil when you in fact have no idea what the definition of being a conservative is. I suggest you go back and do your information. And that is my dog barking, by the way. Oh my gosh. Oh, it gets even better. So it says to Damien from pretty much said fucking pedo apologist, says to Damien again, you don't even know what substance is. Sex offenders never existed. Oh, fuck you. Sex offenders never. So you're telling me that a sex offender list never existed when in fact there has been programs where people would actually have to go to door, claiming to people of their neighbors that they are sex offenders, and you're going to tell me that ain't real? What kind of fucking pathetic planet are you living on? Oh my gosh. Again, we're gonna keep going here. You are not perfect either, so stop acting like you are God. Okay, no one's claiming to be God or perfect, but as human beings or as with people with good morality, we know the difference between right and wrong, but between the differences of learning the safety environment or the safety conditions for a child as opposed to a kid being exposed to sexual acts by adults, which shouldn't even happen in the first place. Yeah, so he wants to preach that whole God thing, and he says a few typos does not mean a person is retarded. You're retarded for judging me based on a few typos. Keep proving my point. You are a fool. Fix your mind. This is some cult fucking bullshit that I'm reading here too. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a part of Heart Progress or a fucking pedo cult. He says the same thing though. He just says get an education, stop procrastinating. Hatred towards others known and well to YouTube. Everyone knows that you're a conservative. Nobody's impressed. It's the same bullshit. Truth is important, not sources. The truth is never stupid. You are stupid for being afraid of the truth and living your life. So wait a minute. So me, Damien, and others standing up for people. No, I don't think he's linked to Morg. Morg is like completely different. He's more like into like an actual sex cult. He may be more into like the bevophile. I can't even pronounce that right. But this is like way different off that edge. He just rambles on like a tard. The truth is important, not sources. Sources kind of also help how the truth is also in substantial evidence. So, what? So I don't get this guy's logic here. Get an education, stop acting retarded. It's the same thing again. Conservative sources, again, conservatism. He doesn't know what the definition of conservatism is because obviously he just wants to keep using that default setting that he has. Like, there's no logic behind this. Okay. Oh wow. So this is actually where it actually gets kind of like funny. Teaching the truth is never embarrassing. Being conservative like yourself is worse than being Adolf Hitler. You are the true embarrassment. So wait a minute. How did we go from trying to defend the innocence of kids against pedophiles to the comparison of Adolf Hitler, who committed genocide to a race or to too much of a culture of the Jewish people? I'm failing to see how that kind of intertwined there. It's a fallacy. That was nothing more than just ad hominems and fallacies. Jeez. I thought I had to deal with more people like this, but damn. And he believes that we're bullying the crap out of him when in fact, if you guys actually watch the debate, it's still up there. The Thrashman Guru versus pedo apologist. That person agreed to that Skype debate with me. He agreed. I even explained to him before our said debate that this was recording. Do you still want to take part of this? And he said yes to that. It is in the recording. I suggest you watch that for yourself. You will see the actual proof in the pudding in that recording. He admitted to that. He even said that to me, and we got into our Skype debate. And he even admitted to me in the very end of that he supported everything that he claimed on there. So this person better get his logic straight. And you're so lucky you don't live in the United States because shit like that happens, I would have reported you to the police a long time ago. I sure as hell can't do it because I don't have the jurisdiction or whatnot. But if anyone lives in whatever country he lives in, maybe like Taiwan or whatnot, if you actually have any fans that live in Taiwan or whatever the case, if you do know who this person is, contact the authorities, please. Seriously. All right, so let's read this juicy little one. He says to him, I know what I'm talking about, you don't. Human beings are not waste of oxygen. We need oxygen to breathe, get an education. You don't have knowledge of the truth. The opinions of people are very important, and the truth should always be respected. Stop being a conservative. Your entire ideology is fake news. Get rid of your massive ego. There's nothing wrong with having a mind concept which is deterring the difference between harming a child and letting a child, actually understanding the difference between a safety environment for that child and being exposed. I know I've repeated this point before, having that child be exposed to certain stupid, fucking atrocious shit like this. So you're going to tell me that it's okay for that child to be molested and sexually abused by that said adult. You're going to tell me that that's okay. That's not okay. That's disgusting. That's horrible. That's filthy. That's atrocious. That's just downright stupid. I don't support any of that, and I so much as even, if I was so much as even near you, I would have dared you to throw the first punch. I would have beat the fucking shit out of you from then. Ooh. You need wisdom. Your accusations are all false. Typical conservative behavior. Stop trying to insult people to making yourself look foolish. Learn knowledge and wisdom. Yada yada. Admit that you were wrong and gain knowledge. There's nothing to admit, and there's nothing to fucking fess up about because we obviously know for a fact that everyone here is going to side with me on this, that harming little kids is wrong. Exposing kids to sexual acts to adults from the ages of from when they're born to even to the age of fucking 16 and 17, that's so fucking wrong. If you're 18, I can't say anything to that fact because you're by that law an adult. Did you forget about that, Lee Mansuk? In this country, by the age of 18, you are considered legally an adult, which makes it okay from the age of 18 and beyond to engage in sexual acts as long as they're in that age from 18 and above. Despite how weird it may be, a fucking 50-year-old and 18-year-old can actually get it on legally. But anything past that, no, not fucking allowed. So don't fucking lecture me, don't lecture other people about that when you in fact have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I don't support any of that, and I hope to God that you start getting some knowledge into your brain, buddy. You have no place to lecture me or my friends about that when you in fact have no following, you have no substance, you have no evidence to back up your claims, you have no foundation to go on, you don't have anyone at your side, and the fact that you want to keep using this default mentality as means as justification to support your own claims is foolish. You getting this shit? Even my little wooden dummy here thinks that you're a dumbass. Oh my gosh. Oh, I like how he says this one here. He even says to my friend Damon, he says this about me. Justin lost terribly. It's kind of funny to say that I lost terribly when pretty much about 98% of the people sided with me. So, hate to break it to you, buddy, but you need to kind of flip that around because I believe you lost terribly. Not on the fact that I ripped you apart and according to other people, but mostly almost everyone on that channel or on my page or on my comment section had agreed with me that you are nothing more than just a low-life piece of shit who condones that certain act. So I would flip that around, buddy. Or in other words, get that shit out of here. The truth always defeats conservatism and their ideology. Justin needs an education, and so do you. Both of you need to stop being conservatives. Again, I'm a centrist, so you probably need to do your homework, buddy. Get rid of your massive egos and lack of knowledge. Same stupid bullshit. Yada yada yada. This guy is like an international SJW warrior, I guess. This was not a proper debate. Well, hate to break it to you again, but it was a one-on-one debate, okay? It's not like people ganged up on you. It was just you and me. So if anything, it was a proper debate because it was just you against me. I gave you a fair hearing. You gave me a fair hearing. I'll at least give you credit for that. So don't tell me that this wasn't to you an improper debate because it was. If it was improper, I bet everyone that was in there, the three of us, would have been ganging up on you then. We didn't. It was just you and me. But had it actually gone fully my way, well, actually, it was fully my way. But had it gone into a voting account, I would have actually had you go a little bonus round with two of my other friends. But no, I decided to play this fairly and decided to have you go up against me. And if you're watching this, I dare you to come onto my fucking chat right now and fucking talk to me. If you're watching this, which I doubt you are, but if by any chance, if you're watching this, go right ahead. And I will be waiting because you know what? I can do this for another hour and a half because this is all the way till 7:30, buddy. We can debate this all we want. You can come in here, you can watch this, and you can pretty much say whatever you want to say because you know for the fact that I'm going to fucking win. I know exactly what my points are. I've done my research. I know what to back up here, and I know exactly what to say here. So if you're going to try to challenge me on that, come at me with some balls, okay? But I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this. And that's not to be a massive egocentric, like, fucking dickhead. But it's the fact that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not always repetitive with my points. Now, if I have to be repetitive, it's the fact that I actually have to actually refresh a point in order to include something to remind you that I'm arguing something to you that's supposed to be said to you to make something clear. And if you didn't get that, I'm so sorry. That ain't my problem. But the most important thing is that the people here that are watching is whether they're convinced or not of either you or mine's argument. And I can guarantee you right now that everyone right now watching this is siding with me. So before I continue on, what do you guys think? Oh, thank you. Just gonna give it a moment. He denies existence. That's what he's good. Yeah, actually, that actually is true. He denies existence. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the Hyperion. Apparently, I can't type. Hmm. It doesn't really matter at this point, but I kind of wish that guy came on. All right, let's continue on because I just figured it's the appropriate time to continue this. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Damien, I can agree. See, pretty much the 98%, because I know the 2% or at least one person that was also in my fucking video was pretty much saying the exact same shit. Which I know this is pretty much the same person that's you, but there was someone else that I also saw. Get an education is like pretty much we're already past the point of graduating high school. We're pretty much in college by then. That was a closed-minded conservative venting his anger over something that does not exist in order to undermine free will and the rights of people. It was more of a witch hunt rather than a civilized debate. Advertising their fake news and propaganda. First of all, advertising, I'm not even getting paid for this fucking shit because my monetization has been gone for quite a while, for one thing. And to propagate morality to people, I'm sorry. I'm not here to tell people, change what you are or I'll fucking kill you. No. I'm here to say that I don't fucking agree. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's like a dumb cunt. Wow. It would have been funny if I actually saw something that was really over the line. And by the way, Lee Mansuk, Damien didn't make any false accusations. Everything that was said was according to what you said. So yeah, I don't think he'll show up either, but if he does, this is just a message to him. I mean, actually, that's a funny thing. I'm looking for that for Jeff right now. I don't see that. If you can you message me that on Facebook just in case? I'm scrolling down and I don't see Jeff's anywhere. Sorry. Let's see, or actually, you know what? Let me go back up. Let's see. Ah, okay. I will go there right away. Sorry, my computer's like acting up. So we'll do it this way. La 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 la. Right there. Okay. So let me go to this video. I don't know why Google does that or YouTube. That's another thing I'm getting pissed off at them about. Oh wow, so somebody else. Yeah, dude. See, even another person agreed with me about this. Someone by the name of Anthony Hunter says, "How about go fuck yourself? Nobody's buying into your pro pedophile bullshit." This is kind of odd. But so I'm looking for Jeff's right now. Oh, actually, I see it right here. Before I get to Jeff's, though, I want to say this about what this guy said to Anthony Hunter. He says, "There's nothing wrong with masturbation, so that isn't an insult." I don't know where the fuck that came from. The universe and Earth lives by truth. The only ones who don't are conservatives like yourself. You people are the only problem. Stop promoting propaganda and fake news. Same bullshit right there. I don't get this guy's logic. Teaching the truth about the world is a good thing. Age and children never existed. I was a fucking child at one point, so you're telling me I never existed? What kind of logic is that? What have you been smoking? You've been smoking way too much LSD, buddy. Let's see what he says to Jeff now. All right. Oh my gosh, this guy's making my head hurt. Like, this guy still goes on. Okay, Lee Monsuk, let me tell you something like this. To a certain degree, a person's sex life is nobody's business. However, though, it becomes everybody's business or somebody's business when it's also unmoral and also unlawful. Like I said, if you are 18 years old and above, your business is your business as long as it's within that age from 18 and above. Got no fucking quarrel with that. But if it's anything below that, then it becomes somebody's business. Then it becomes the law's business and the authority's business. Okay? So, in case I didn't wrap around your uneducated mind, you need to go back and get yourself an education. Also, learn the difference between centrism and conservatism. Which, by the way, anyone who thinks that me being a centrist it makes me a pussy, go fuck yourself. By the way, yeah, get yourself a fucking education, dude, because you have fallen so far. Wow. This is just ugh. You don't speak truth. That is not truth. That is dangerous mentality. That is like dangerous conditioning. I guess so. He's a fucking version of Morgan in some way. So I'm gonna try something here because we are in 37 minutes and we're gonna be doing something a little bit different and we've gotten over this. So this is just gonna cover the Lee Monsuk stuff. Uh, if he does happen to watch this, I would be more than happy to debate him again. I would be more than happy, and you know, yeah, fuck it, I'm down. He wants to come debate me again, let him, because I know for a fact I'm gonna fucking win. Makes up for some of the debates I got screwed out of, like the Onision, which I heard I heard he was arrested too, by the way. Not exactly sure for what. I guess some sort of property shit, or I don't know. Yeah, let's do that because there is something I do want to rant about. I'm not exactly sure where it was. I'm gonna pull it up real quick if I can find it. Now, if I can actually learn how to do streaming like some like Stevie or some guy 27, I was actually gonna have like a screen like displayed here, and you would see the reactions that I would do, and then pretty much I would do my commentary of that. But we're pretty much gonna do this phone style. Yeah, we're gonna do this like Tyrone style. He's like, I'm Tyrone, and fuck this motherfucking technology. I'm here to fuck somebody's wife, long dick style. Sorry, that guy's a legend. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm not going to do any more responses to Morg. Like I said, that's beneath me. The Onision thing's beneath me. That's why we're going to do something a little bit different. That's why I got to find something a little bit different because this is a little bit. Durian Rider? I've heard of that dude. Let me type that up. So I guess we might be in for like a ride or something here. Holy crap. Looks like Josh Brolin. Fuckity A. Dude. Okay, so I will definitely put him on my list of people that I will look up. But there was something that I do wanted to actually kind of take a look over. It was a feminist fail video. I'm surprised I never really covered the topic of feminism, but one thing I really gotta go over is I know it's 3 years ago, but this is something I've never covered. Why office air conditioning is sexist. Do any of you guys remember this subject or this video in particular? Because we're gonna watch it. 2015. And again, I know this is 3 years ago, but like I said, I never covered this, so we're gonna see what this is. Hopefully this thing loads. Oh, don't get me started on Anita. She's just being the regular assholes it is, and I don't even use the word bitch. I don't. Let's see. Her name's like Radhika Sanghani. I guess that's her name.
There I was thinking it was just me that had a problem, but it turns out it's the air conditioning that's sexist. I know. So many women in our office have the exact same problem. We just sit there absolutely freezing at our desks trying to type. You can probably tell I've got a cold right now, which I blame.
What? How is an air conditioning sexist? An air conditioning doesn't have a fucking gender. What the fuck? I'm only 19 seconds in, and I'm already like, I've already lost brain cells from that. All right, I'll catch you later, Damien, man. Just, oh my gosh. 19 seconds and already.
And so it's just so actually quite nice to see this research. It's just such a relief to know that there's actually proof that this is happening, that women, do feel the cold more than men, and that the AC in offices is normally regulated more for a male's temperature than a woman's.
So fucking what? What does that got to do with sexism? I mean, air conditioning doesn't have any control of what the human body fucking does, so what the fuck? Could it be that maybe a man kind of dresses differently from a woman? Maybe women are just wearing skirts and they can feel the cold more often because they got more fucking skin showing. Not to deem that as sexist or anything, but what the fuck? I guess so.
As an explanation for these constant battles you see in offices right across the country between the sexes for control of that office thermostat. Yeah, exactly. And I think, one of the biggest problems is that often in offices, it is men who control temperatures. That's just something I found.
Well, then if you want to actually have control of something, why don't you go work at a fucking air conditioning factory or a fucking warehouse or whatnot? What do you think arguing that's gonna fucking accomplish? It's a fucking air conditioning. It's not gonna fucking care. It doesn't have a brain. It doesn't have a heart. It doesn't have any conscience. It's just a fucking machine that just fans on air. Doesn't give a fuck about that.
Anecdotally. And because majority of the men in offices seem to be absolutely fine with the temperatures, women kind of just sit there on the corner feeling absolutely frozen.
Can you give me statistics on how that was fucking possible? Or give me statistics, because I'm pretty sure even some females could even agree with men that, okay, sometimes the temperature may be at this area or at this area. But like, what? Give me statistics.
And, often actually nothing's being done to help them. And, it might sound like a bit of a silly, light-hearted issue, but actually it's really uncomfortable being freezing at your desk every day. Take it from me. No, I experience the same, because what I've often found is you go in on a really hot summer's day, you're wearing summer clothes, you go into an office and it's absolutely freezing. I think even for some men it must be too cold. I don't understand why air conditioning is often so cold. So what you have to do is then take a jumper in with you and put that jumper on in order to be able to function. Yeah, honestly, I think so many women listening now are going to just be nodding their heads thinking, yes, that is exactly my reality. We joke at work that we actually can't dress fashionably anymore for summer because you actually just can't go in sandals. You can't go in a summer dress because you're going to have to put on the jumper or the emergency cardigan. So yeah, it is quite frustrating, especially when you then go out on your lunch break or your commute home and you're absolutely boiling outside. And I think there is a bit of a problem when it's warmer outside than it is inside your office.
So what's the solution then? Because we can't have men overheating in the offices, can we?
No, I think we just need a bit more flexibility. I think it is just essentially common sense. So if an office is noticing that a number of women are complaining about the cold, they need to be more flexible. They need to actually kind of lower it and not.
Or just wear something that fucking doesn't make you feel cold. Or bring some fucking hand warmers, whatnot. You can get those out of fucking Walgreens. That's pretty much the end of that video right there. And oh gosh, 75,000 dislikes to 3,000 likes. You can already see where the angle of that ratio is going right there. Fuck. Like, wow, I immediately got a headache from that. And like, I've never really covered the topics of feminism and fuck, dude. That too. Another jumper. Okay, now there was a video that I did see that was recently that really irritated the fuck out of me. I don't even remember what it was called, but I wanted to do a reaction to it. Gosh. You know what? Let's see what Arnita Sarkeesian's up to. We're gonna go there. Feminist frequency. Oh my gosh. Any current videos as of late? No, it's just a week ago. It's like an hour-long broadcast, so fuck that. When it was like Susan B. Anthony back in the day, that was an example. That's like how feminism was supposed to be done. Because back in the days, there were times where actually men did force feed women down. I mean, I'm not a feminist, but even I can pretty much attest to the history given is that women were treated unfairly back in the days. And I can understand that part of feminism. That part of feminism was necessary for voting rights. Think about it. Voting rights. One of the most important aspects of being an American citizen is the ability to vote and be treated as a fair individual. That is something that I would consider fairness when it comes to feminism. Nowadays, feminism is just about some sort of systematic political boogeyman, which is known as the patriarchy, which baffles my mind because while I will not sit here and deny anything like sexism, misogyny, misogyny, abuse, that shit does exist. But the fact that every single thing that has either contributed to this idea that it's the patriarchy, to every single thing, whether it be a product, whether it be motivation for something, or whether it be an act of kindness, or anything in particular, it's just linked to patriarchy, according to SJWs or feminists, or these SJW feminists for that matter. Like say, if you hold the door open for a person that happened to be a feminist SJW, you are considered pretty much this rude ass motherfucker that really doesn't know how to treat women with respect, which makes no sense. I've even had to deal with people certainly in that instance in regards that if you don't believe a certain way they do, you're an asshole. I've actually had a friend of mine, and I'm not going to say his name, and I get it. Me being a centrist doesn't work. It doesn't really flow well with him. But he wanted to say something like, well, centrists and right wing, it's pretty much hard for them to pretty much say no to Nazism. And I've covered this topic before, but not in the particular part of someone like this, to someone who I've argued with. And we've gotten into our little argument and debate about that. Before I do that, I need to read Lemmy's stuff because I feel like I'm neglecting him. Oh yeah, definitely by the third wave. And so in that fact, I got into an argument. I told him that, me being a centrist does not mean that I'm not going to sit out. But the differences between, areas like socialism or communism or pretty much racism and Nazism, examples of pretty much the far left and the far right, and you can say Antifa, and you can also say the far right extremists. Those are examples of people that I do not side with. And so it got to a point where he's just saying that pretty much centrists are just fence sitters and they pretty much don't know how to argue and we should just stay out of politics. It's like, you didn't really understand what I just said. It doesn't mean that I'm going to compromise or anything, but it also means that I can say fuck both of those areas. I could say fuck, socialism, fuck communism, and fuck Antifa, while at the same time saying fuck Nazism, fuck the extremists, and fuck Nazism. Me being a centrist, I hold the balance of areas between Democratic and Republican views. For example, said this before, and I will say it again, so that way we're on topic. I have the ideas of, I do support the idea that we do need to leave women alone when it comes to sense of them having an abortion, because I'm pretty much pro-choice. That's a Democratic belief. On another hand, I have a Republican belief that I do believe in closed borders. That's nothing discriminatory, but I do believe in a legal process that if you want to come into a country, at least do it the legal way, and it makes it a whole lot easier, rather than come in illegally. So there has to be regulation for that to be inbound. It's not discriminatory, and I can understand the reasoning why. And I don't support Trump at all, but at least hear my reasonings out for this, because many people have made this completely clear, and I'm going to say this. The wall thing that Trump was talking about, he wasn't the first person to come up with that idea. You could pretty much watch the White Stripes' music video, and pretty much that idea pretty much existed way before that. It was something called the Great Wall of Mexico in their music video. But the idea of this wall was to also keep other people like the cartel and other criminals from entering the country. It's not necessarily supposed to be a discriminatory idea to keep Mexicans out of the United States. Not at all. Again, I don't support President Trump, and at the same time, I don't support Hillary Clinton. But I'm saying that the idea of that is an example why I support closed borders, so that way the legal system can be applied easily. That is a right area, or a republic view that I view. So again, I hold certain views on both areas. In the very middle, because I like to be open, and I like to be a little bit balanced with my views. Again, and that's a good thing. Let me cover this one right here, because it's the exact same thing I talk about. If you have just a differing opinion from Antifa, you are automatically deemed as an enemy or a Nazi to them. That's a problem I have with Antifa, and fuck Antifa for that. And I'm so sorry, but at the same time, I'm not sorry to the person who I love to death, that I love as a brother. Sorry, but me being a centrist should not be something that is supposed to get on your nerves. I know what the hell I'm talking about. I know exactly where I stand in the sense of centrism. That does not mean that I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly where my stances are when it comes to political aspects. That does not mean that I'm undesirable in that sense in the political stance. So, being that we're losing light here, there is something that I also do want to go over. I'm going to pull it up. Yes, actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up the McJuggernuggets thing now. MC13. MC13, why does that sound familiar? MC13. I'll have to look that up. But anyways, now, for anyone who's watched me over the whole, the Mexican, it was a Mexican gang. Okay, my bad. I saw there was a graffiti. I think there was a graffiti MC13. I thought it was MS13. I'm not entirely sure. Was it supposed to be like Mexican Cartel 13? I'm not sure. But anyways, past that, the whole McJuggernuggets thing. Here's the thing about that. For anyone who watches me, when I made my videos over McJuggernuggets, again, I actually do watch some of his things, and I got to admit, some of his stuff is pretty good. But it comes to a point where I feel it's just repetitive. I'm not. Formerly, I was a person who strongly didn't like the series. I went from someone who was like, yeah, this is pretty funny, watching him kind of like get mad over his video games getting shredded, to like, wow, this is disturbing. And then towards the end, making a fool of myself, believing that it was real, when in fact it was completely scripted from the beginning. So because I still get people that still get on my ass saying that this is fake. I can't believe you fucking fell for it. And I have to keep telling them like, hey, I already got it. We already went through this process before. I get it. Now, but I want to go into the future or pretty much the present day with McJugger Nuggets. I get that he's got some ingenious ideas, and I will credit him for that. But sometimes I think that these ideas, and yes, I agree, the long vlogs are boring. But in addition, I just feel like this is just more of just the repetitive cycle of the entire Psycho series. I don't like the idea of the fact that things getting broken. And people could argue with me about the resources and all this other shit that it's replaceable. I get it, but it seems like a waste. And I've had people argue to me, it's like, well, Viva La Bam did it. You used to watch Viva La Bam. Well, hate to break it to you, Viva La Bam ain't around anymore, you know? And I pretty much grew up. I grew up past that. Do I still watch the past shows from back then? Yeah. But I was a teenager at one point watching this, and I kind of realized that, wow, a lot of expensive shit has gone by. Cars, windows, paintings, decorations around the house. A lot of money's worth. And I can understand that too. And I think that's where I feel a little bit hypocritical about that. Because Jimi Hendrix, unlike, and also with other guitarists like James Hetfield, at times broke their guitars. But I think the major difference is that maybe Jimi Hendrix on one hand, maybe he wanted to be a little bit more creative with his flow, but a lot of the ones that I did see a lot in the times were a lot like very aggressive, and they were pissed off at times, and they ended up breaking that not out of publicity, but just the fact that we're just straight up pissed off. So, and like I said, and yeah, but see, at least with Jimi Hendrix, he at least had something more creative about it. He actually had more of a spark to what he did, and I get that, and that's gonna make me seem a little bit more hypocritical about that. Totally get it, and I will own up to that. But with Jimi Hendrix, it was more of a revolutionary style for something of gypsy rock and 60s rock music. And I think that's what created an actual flow to it. And we were all drawn to it. I think that's what the point of that was. Wow, we're at 57 minutes. All right. With that in mind, I was thinking about taking a quick break, but so far things seem to be going good. So I wanted to make sure that we're not completely off track. Oh, you know what? I figured out something perfect. YouTube CEO. Here we go. So this is we're gonna. It says an hour, but we're not gonna go into like a complete hour of this because, like I said, we're only gonna be doing this till like 7:30. So we're not gonna be boring everyone with said details, but I'm gonna just show exactly why. It's astounding to see this. All right, so it's 7 minutes and 46 minutes long on this one. So we're going to watch this one and get the ideas and interpretations of this. So let's start.
Well, I think, Silicon Valley is a diverse place and there are many different opinions, but like within Silicon Valley. But I think whenever you have a culture that is, whenever you have a majority and a minority, it's going to be harder for that minority. Even in a culture where people are really well-meaning, and I think there are many, many well-meaning, working hard, trying to provide Silicon Valley to be a diverse place. There are sometimes.
This is also coming from this feminist who has no idea how to run YouTube and is in fact doing nothing to fix the implications that are brought on to people about certain regards of fair use or any other type of meaning of content on YouTube. And she wants to tell me about this shit. You really want to go down that path?
Microaggressions, right? Like people interrupt you. And so that's actually become like a big.
Welcome to political debates, Susan. Welcome to 2018. Welcome to the real world. That's how shit fucking happens.
Pet peeve of mine. So whenever like somebody interrupts me, I'll be like, "Wait, I was talking. Do not interrupt me." But I enjoy it even more actually when I see them interrupting someone else, and then I'll be like, "Wait, she was talking. Don't interrupt her." And I think like every time I've done that, like people have been like, "Oh, thank you." Like I didn't realize I was doing that, and so I think just making people more aware of it is really important. Would you say overall, yes, there is a problem in the valley, and one you're hopeful is being fixed? Well, I think there is a problem just in the numbers and being underrepresented. Like we need more women across the board, and until those numbers get fixed,
or why not just have people have more sense of a fucking brains and not just the fact that it just needs to be women? I'm not saying that it just needs to be men, but why not just have more people that have more common sense and more of a fucking brain? Needing more. It's like she's trying to make it like a gender issue in that regards. Ugh.
It's going to be a harder place for women to work.
On the issue of not just hiring more women, but paying women fairly and equally as important. Sure. In April, the Department of Labor came out and they said they found systemic problems of Google paying women less than their male counterparts. Google came out and said we vehemently disagree.
Ooh, in Google. Bear this in mind. This is Google, by the way. Pretty much her as the foundation, the CEO of YouTube with Google. So, let's see where this goes.
Statement. Have you seen a pay gap within YouTube? You don't run off Google, you run YouTube. Have you seen it? Is it a problem?
Yeah. We'll say we were really, really surprised by that allegation. And I know internally that, if you want to manage pay, we have like a very sophisticated team that manage that. So like many people who have PhDs who do sophisticated analysis to understand, to make sure you're managing like people with like experience and like rules, and that it's equal, and location, all those things are taken into consideration. I'm just saying we take it very seriously. When you talk to those,
you don't fucking take it seriously. Are you shitting me? You don't even know how to run the fucking monetization system on channels. You let people abuse the flagging system and people lose their monetization. You want to tell me that you got a sophisticated team to fix that? No, you don't. You just have some sort of botted system. So don't fucking tell me about that shit, you insignificant, dumbass bitch. And I hate fucking using that word. I sincerely do. But do not sit there and tell me that you got a sophisticated team knowing what the fuck they're doing, when in fact that YouTube itself is doing nothing more than ripping itself apart. A lot of people lost their monetization. Now, to a certain degree, I could understand the certain limits to that. But there are people that worked their asses off. Not just men, women on YouTube that were unfairly cut off from monetization. So you're going to tell me this shit? So in what regards and what percentage and ratio are we regarding this here too? People, like, am I going insane, or am I actually listening to something that I feel like is just driving me to the point where I really just want to rip my shirt off?
Experts, they give you very sophisticated analysis that they're doing. And so we were very surprised by those allegations. But I will say personally, and since I have access to, certainly everyone in my organization's compensation, I regularly will go through when we're doing our pay reviews and say, let's go through everyone who is at this level. Let's make sure that everyone who's at this level, performing at this level, that they're within the same band of compensation. And I will say from doing it, it is complicated because you look at how, what do you look at 2 year? Do you look at 4 year? If someone joined last year versus 5 years ago and the stock went up, it's there's many factors. This is a complicated thing to do, but I consistently go through it, and I personally go through it myself. After my teams go through it, after the HR teams go through it, I go through
the interruption in that one.
I look through it and I spot check that it is consistent and it's fair. And if we see, again, if we see something, we correct it.
So you wrote an op-ed that got a lot of attention in Vanity Fair. The headline, How to Break Up the Silicon Valley Boys Club. In it, you write that you're frustrated that an industry so quick to embrace change and the future cannot break free of its regrettable past. You said it's not rocket science. So, so what's the solution?
No, it's not. This is not. I mean, this is a solvable. This is a solvable problem, and so I outlined 3 different steps.
I think we're drawing close to the conclusion here.
But I don't think are happening in those companies. And so the first one is that it really needs to come from the top. You need the CEO of the company to say it matters. We want to have their.
Oh, spare me the fucking people giving a shit about people on the bottom. You as a CEO does not give a shit about people like me and other people that work their asses off on here. The only thing that you care about are your advertisers, your money, and everything that pretty much makes your company grow. You don't give a fucking shit about us. So again, I'm going to tell this. Do not sit there and preach that shit. You obviously don't fucking care. You've let people abuse the system and let people like me and others have to suffer through it because you want people to suit this fucking SJW's agenda. Unfucking believable.
Company, like, where's my like, not just where's my diversity team, but okay, all of you.
Diversity
leaders,
team,
like,
fuck off.
Like, I want to make sure that you're all thinking about this when you're doing your hiring, when you're growing your teams. I'm also on the board of Salesforce. Like Mark Benioff has been a really big supporter on equal pay. He's like, we're going to make a big change on equal pay. We're going to go through this.
He actually came out and said, we have a problem. We're not paying some women as much as their male counterparts.
Yeah.
Here's our problem. We're going to fix it. I'm not sure a lot of CEOs would be that candid.
And so, I mean, that's an example of a CEO owning the issue and saying, let's solve
What
it.
about you?
The second thing.
What about you owning that
we
issue?
need to make sure that you're funding the groups to be able to, the different diverse groups to be able to have their own support. So whether it's like their own employee resource groups, enabling them to be able to meet, to do their offsites, but then not expecting them to plan everything. So you need to have the budget and the people and not assume that if there's like one woman in a group, she's going to be the one that is going to organize the women's organization, right? It's just not fair. And then the last one I have seen
2 minutes left.
Providing mentorship. And like I feel like I've been really.
Wait a minute, go back. Say that again. Wait. Whoa. Go back.
Right? It's just not fair. And then the last one I have seen is just providing mentorship. And like
mentorship.
I've been really benefited from that. There's no question. I've worked incredibly hard in my career. I've
give a look on that in just a moment.
Lucky to be in the right place. I've made a lot of great business decisions. But I've also had people at the top of the company who saw potential and invested in me and made sure that I was able to be in the right meetings and be in the right places. I mean, if you look at technology field, like most of the leaders are men. I mean, we just went through the numbers, right? And so if you think about like, well, how are you going to change that? Well, it's like you need people who are on the inside. You need people who are the leaders. Those happen to be a lot of men. And so you need them to be saying like, I want to bring diversity and I'm going to be supportive. I'm going to make sure that, so-and-so can come to me. I'm going to make sure that I'm promoting the people in my org who have that talent. And Bill Campbell is like, and for those of you who don't know, he was the kind of like the coach of Silicon Valley, which I thought was super interesting because he was not a technical person. He would always say, I can't write a single line of code.
That's kind of funny because that pretty much describes the whole entire aspect of you, Susan. Because you don't know how to fucking run YouTube as a platform. You pretty much described in of itself about how you operate YouTube. And I get this is a year ago. This is 2017. I get that. But holy crap, you shot yourself in the foot by indirectly describing the type of ideas about yourself when you're running a platform. I should have let that petition of you being resigned from YouTube go out fucking years ago. Fucking change my ass.
And he had come from being a football coach, but yet he was the advisor to the top people in Silicon Valley. There were a few times that there were like events I wasn't invited to, or meetings or something that I wasn't, external ones, and he or conference, and I would reach out to him, and he.
Okay, so do certain things like that have any reasons to cut people off from monetization or to send messages or to even do annotations? Because we can't do any of that shit now. Your business decisions to cut off these sort of things. You want to talk about diversity as well. The thing about it is, we can't choose what we want to do with our channel. It has to be the same as everyone else's, with the exception of a banner logo. Back then when YouTube, as pretty much like the OG version of itself, you could customize how you want your channel. You could be yourself. YouTube, and I'm not trying to say this to be an asshole, but YouTube is not where you can be you. It's fucking feminists like this shit. It's just to a point that your channel has to look the exact same as everyone else's, and you have to do the exact same thing as everyone else's. That's bullshit. Why do I need to stoop to that level? Why do I need to be that way? And I'm not saying move to Vidly, but if you want to expand to your horizons, I do recommend to upload some of your videos to Vidly, because they actually do an actual customization option with that channel. They took the ideas from YouTube and pretty much say, hey, here you guys go. You can actually do this. You can do the cosmic panda thing if you wanted to. You can do the original style look if you wanted to. You can do all these other things that YouTube pretty much stripped you away from. I do recommend checking out Vidly and support Vidly, and I will be uploading a lot of my videos on Vidly as well too. I'm not moving to Vidly, but I'm going to be uploading a lot of my content to that as well. So I do recommend you guys check that out, because I really think it's just time for a complete change away from YouTube. Not exactly like going away from YouTube, but like give YouTube a little bit of run for its money a little bit in some way. I mean, you can still do YouTube and Vidly at the same time. I'm just saying. I think I kind of like mixed that a little bit around, but I wanted to kind of make that completely clear.
You actually swear a lot too. And he would get all angry and be like, I'm gonna fix this. And then and then he'd hang up. And then a day later, I'd be like, whoa, I got that invite. Thank you, Bill. But it's right. It's a really important thing to ask to be there. Ask to be at the table, or ask someone to help you get there, because your voice won't be heard.
That was pretty much it. It was pretty much just more enough for me to express the ventilation of anger that I have over Susan, because it's just the type of bullshit that I just feel is projected onto us, because corporations want to believe that taking away is probably going to make it a little bit more better. Restricting us to a dystopian type thing is a little bit more better than just expressing yourself. Bullshit. Another thing I have a problem with. So I'm at a pause. So let me do something real quick. What is this? Okay. But other than that, how you guys been doing? I mean, Lemmy's been having a conversation with me back and forth, man. I want to know how other people are doing. Supposed to be doing that. Thank you. La, la, la. Whew. Coolio. Surprised you ain't come alive yet. Said that incantation. Hope you don't go creeping around at night. No, you're fine, Lemmy, man, and I agree. Women are good at other things that men can't do, and men are good at things that women can't do. There are certain things in certain aspects. That doesn't mean that's sexism at all, but they're just certain things. Everyone has their advantages and everyone has their disadvantages. That's not even a sex thing. That's pretty much just anyone an individual. Any independent person may be good at something that another person may not, but they may be good at something that that other person isn't. That's pretty much just the typical concept. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. We still got time left, so here's what I'm gonna do. Slappy, for the moment, I'm gonna set you down because I really want to sit down in this chair fully by myself. You are, after all, just a Halloween decoration, but you know, you'll be used in future parts of my channel. And if he happens to be creeping up like he's alive, let me know. Okay, so in that aspect, if there is anyone out there outside of this chat or outside of this live stream that wants to debate me on those certain subjects, whether me being a centrist or me defending, the lives of little children against the pedophiles, if anyone wants to debate me on those other subjects that I've talked about, feel free to do so, and I'll be right here. Because for one thing, I'm fed up with people. Indeed, I am. Now I'm double checking something on here real quick just to make sure. And thank you very much. And I agree with Chelsea. Lemmy, you're just being yourself, man. Don't ever change. Nice. That actually made my day. Oh man. There are some other things that I would like to talk about, but I can't talk about those things mainly because I have to wait until keyword. I would have to retire from it, so that way I would tell you guys about it. Just more about where I work, but at some point, if I ever retire from it, I'll talk to you guys about it. So that's a lot of material that I have saved up for future videos, but I'm not going to talk about it just yet. Just not ready for it. Now, for some people that have watched my channel before and seen some of my content, I've done things like Blacklist, the Collector series. I might be bringing the Collector series back. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to go over with certain things that I do have collected up here. Some of the items that you see on here, I'm pretty much going to go over, but I still got to do my project for the Do Not Laugh for the reactionary ones, and I still need to do some album reviews for that matter. But I wanted to do this because I wanted to give a shout out to Damien Skyfire because we originally had this intention to do a Blacklist video on Muse Productions, which I don't want to keep bringing him up because I'm not here to start drama and shit, but I figured it's not worth it, and it's just not going to be at a good pacing. It's not fair to you guys to have to be involved in drama. So I decided to tell him, we're not going to do this. There's a change of plans. So I would make this up to you. I would do a shout out to your channel. And I do recommend that you guys check him out. The woman I was talking about was Susan, the CEO of YouTube, the person who runs this website, pretty much the suit. So, oh wait a minute, are you talking about the woman for the air conditioning? The one who thought the air conditioning was sexist? Let me pull that back up. Okay, yeah, let me pull that back up. It started with a K. Yep, air conditioning is sexist. Okay. So her name is Radhika Singhani. Radhika Sanghani. So Radhika Singhani. I can't even pronounce that. I can't really pronounce those names really well, but Nah, you're good, Lemmy. Love you to death, bro. Wow. So that was a lot that I've actually had to vent out today. And for the first time, I'm actually going to be sleeping in my bed with Slappy in my chair. So I put him in a different room for another reason because I thought, some strange shit was going to happen, but I'm going to try to keep him in my room. I want to put that mask back on him. But, This is pretty much like 90s all over again. Look how creepy it can go. Gosh. If I had to do that anymore, it'd be like a creepy clown video. I don't want to make fun of the air conditioning. What was the joke you were going to say about the air conditioning? All right, love you too. Still got family. Yeah. Okay. She needs to chill out. Mr. Freeze. Ice puns. Oh no, come on, man. The puns. The puns. I am not a fan of women. Yeah, yeah. All right. Now, one thing in addition, I'm not sure if this is set in stone, but I am planning. I don't know if it's set in stone, but here's the thing, and I can't talk about it because, like I said, it's related to work. But I am trying to go on this on my trip to Georgia because I want to get footage from back then. I haven't been in a certain town in over about, you could say about, I don't know, 16 years or such, maybe 19. So I figured I was gonna go into, that town and certain areas because there was a place I used to live, and I didn't realize that one of the places I used to live in was across from a Civil War battleground, which actually used to be haunted, which I didn't even know about. So I figured I'd go back there, and I was also going to be planning a trip to Texas because, like I said, I wanted to capture footage from both areas. And one day I do kind of plan on moving back to Texas, but if it comes to a point where I actually have to move to Georgia, that's fine because I can still visit Texas anytime because Texas is always my home. Um, I'm planning on stuff like that, so probably shouldn't say that on the live stream though. But it's not like people from work watch this. Water's good. Drink lots of water, people. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sin City. Right where Stevie or some guy 827 used to live. By the way, Chelsea. So I don't live too far from where Stevie used to live. Pretty much it's about like 15 minutes away. Which, by the way, let me type something real quick. So yeah, there was at one point where me and Stevie actually lived in Las Vegas at the same time. Yep. And then he moved, East Coast. Never actually got to hang out with him, but we lived in that exact area at that time. It's kind of weird because sometimes there is that flow, but it doesn't seem as bad as California. But the mentality and hospitality in Nevada sucks. It does. I can see why Stevie moved out of here. The thing about it is, I haven't really met anyone that's like militant in the sense of conservative or liberal. But yeah, I've met both angles of conservative and liberal, but not as militant as far as I'm aware. So yeah, there's that. Get rid of that. Berkeley. Wait, Berkeley, is that in Cali? Because the only part of Cali I've ever been in is LAX, and the thing about LAX is I nearly got into a fight with a guy who really was trying to start shit with me just based on how I dressed. Like I had casual jeans on or clothing, and the guy looks at me and he's like, "What's your problem, dude?" Yeah, I nearly got into a fight in the airport. Wasn't a physical fight, but just About a point where we're just gonna curse each other out. But like that was my first impression of landing in LA. I was like, I'm already getting berated by someone just because of the way I dress. It sucks. And I dress casual. You know, I don't dress like anything weird. But, like that's coming from you because I am a weird dude. All right. So let's see. There's one more thing that we pretty much can touch upon, and then we're gonna end the stream off from there. Boy. Which, by the way, Chelsea, watch that Joker Rising thing. You'll see a complete different aspect of the Joker in that instance. Do do do. I don't know much about Colorado. The only parts of Colorado I've ever been in, which I don't even know because literally we just drove through Colorado when we moved to Vegas. We only stopped in like one area, but I didn't get any experience from Colorado. But I do know for a fact that one of my favorite musicians, James Hetfield from Metallica, he lives in Colorado now. Doesn't live in San Francisco. He lives in Colorado. Oh man. That's a lot of replies. What the hell? Anyway, I actually have family in Florida, and I also own land in Florida. Well, my family does, but in the general aspect, us as Windows, we actually own a bit of farmland out in Tallahassee. I'm sorry, I was fixing to say Tulsa, but I was like, wait a minute, Tulsa's in Oklahoma. I meant to say Tallahassee. That's probably like another place I'm planning on going to do a trip to. Ooh, Holly Quinn. I got a Batman mask like right up yonder. Hold on. Not sure if you can see it, but it's like right there. It's my Christopher Nolan version of Batman, and then I got like a Kylo Ren mask right there, along with Bane's mask right there. Pretty much. And then right about here, which by the way, Lemmy, this picture right here, or these pictures on this little portrait, that's actually my brother with Tony Iommi. I should bring it up real quick. So let me take this off. I guess to end it off, we'll just kind of like take a little bit of a tad bit of a tour. So right about there. That's like my brother with Tony Iommi on the top right, and that's his signature right there in the very middle. It's actually out to my dad, but that's my brother right there, and that's actually at the Iron Maiden concert. So it's a pretty cool thing. Wasn't there though, but still, it's awesome. But also, I guess I'm doing a collector series live. That's pretty weird. So this is my other collectible stuff right here. As you can see, there's my Kylo Ren mask. There is also my Batman mask. There's James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett. I'm supposed to get Jason Newsted and Lars Ulrich soon, but after that little $400 incident, I'm gonna have to be very careful with my money now. There's some collectibles that I got right up there. Now, if you actually shop at Toys R Us, some of those Legend of Zelda things like went very fast and on a very, very cheap price. Holy crap! In the year's future, they may be worth a lot. Not sure. But I would recommend if you got those, save those because those would be like a lot of money in the future. All right. Okay, now ignore this. My room's a little bit of a mess, and I'm also in the process of trying to change stuff up around, but that's just basically how it goes. So, with that being said, it's like an hour and a half. 7 o'clock. So I still have about 30 minutes left. So anything, if you guys want to do a Q&A or anything, I'm willing to do that. Q&As will actually kind of help with the timing. And if there's anything else, if you guys have any recommendations to look up anything, to look up any videos to react to, I can definitely do that because I do have Camtasia. I do have that software to do so. So if you have any recommendations, just let me know. But for right now, if you guys want to do a Q&A, I'm all open for any questions or anything like that. So if you want to shoot anything, just go ahead and shoot it. Do not be afraid. Sorry, this thing is like closed. There we go. And yes, I forgot. Mark Hamill is like the best voice the voice actor for Joker, Mark Hamill, the very best, I can pretty much say. Oh, Mark Hamill, Mark Hamill. Batsy, Batsy. Any last words before I bust your balls? Anyway. Ooh. Oh. So by the time I get off, my my senpai actually does her streaming on Twitch. Woo! What famous people have I met? Well, I've met Jerry the King Lawler. I have a picture of him on like somewhere around in my room, but I also have a picture of him on my Facebook. I've met Scott Steiner. What else have I met? I know there was someone else I've met before. It's gonna take me a moment to get through that because there was at one point that I kind of actually I had like an encounter with the cast of Rebound. You know, there was Martin Lawrence at a Dave and Buster's at one point, so there was that. I can't really think of anybody else. Okay, well, I will say this, and I don't really like to say this like live, but musician wise, I've met Trivium. I've met Matt. I met the band Trivium at the Hard Rock Cafe. I had pictures with them too. I've got a picture with Paulo, Matthew, Matt, and what was the other name? Matt. Matt Madero, Matt Heafy, Paulo, and then there was Greg. I met those guys, and that's like my second favorite band in the whole wide world, underneath Metallica, who's my first. I'd never met Metallica, but I'd hope one day I get to meet Metallica. Only problem is I don't have any money for any VIP tickets, and those things are expensive as hell. But I've met those guys. I've also met Killswitch Engage, Jesse Leach, not up close, but like pretty much at the front row at the Brooklyn Bowl over in Vegas. So I met those guys. I met Tremonti and also Exodus. So that was pretty cool. Because Exodus and Killswitch Engage were playing at one point in the Brooklyn Bowl. And at the Hard Rock Cafe, you had Tremonti and you had, Trivium. My bad. So those are the guys that I actually met. But Trivium's the one I actually got to do a meet and greet with. But I actually got to see those. There was a funny point at one point because there was a bartender right before the Killswitch Engage show started. Me and my friend were looking, and he looked exactly like Jesse Leach. Only problem is that he had a tattoo. He had like a Samoan tattoo, wrapped around on his arm. But at first, me and my friend were thinking, like, is this Jesse Leach behind the bar? What are you doing? I thought you were supposed to be on stage. And he looks just like him. But the only problem is that tattoo, and like Jesse Leach doesn't have that tattoo on his arm. I was like, no, that can't be him. But at first, it was like we were like freaking out. But like, yeah, he looked just like him, right? And that's when I got my Heineken from. I was like, here you go, man. It's like I get that a lot. It was weird. But the strange thing is about it here, I've also met the son of the mob enforcer, who was also under the name of Spalatro. I don't really know exactly what's going on nowadays, but I've met his son, and yeah, that's the closest thing to the mob I've ever met before. I don't know if I should be saying that publicly or whatnot, but yeah, that's the closest thing of the mafia I've ever been close to. But I met him at my place of work. But the son of I think it was Anthony, or was it Nicholas Spilotro? I think that's his father, who was the mob enforcer. I think also connected to I think mob attorney, which was Oscar Goodman, who also owned Beef Booze and Brats. It's a restaurant over on the old strip area. It's over at the Fremont. I think he still owns that place. But yeah, that's the closest to the mob I've ever met, to the mafia. Pretty cool. But it's not really something I boast about, but it's kind of interesting and fascinating. So those are kind of the people I've met. If anything else, ooh, pretty much like that. So, any other questions? Anything you guys want to shoot at me? Sorry, page. All right, because we still got like 24 minutes left, and just want to make those 24 minutes count. Woohoo! And also, any recommendations when it comes to live streaming, like anything for improvement, I'm always, welcoming to feedback, any type of constructive criticism. I'm open to it, and anything to help kind of expand out. So, if you guys have any thoughts or opinions, don't be afraid to let me know. I'm open to those, and like I said, anything to help improve. Hmm. Ooh, okay, cool. I guess nothing, but okay. That's okay. So we still got 23 minutes. So how do we go by with 23 minutes? Huh. Let me take a look at something here. Oh. Oh. Okay. I guess just to ease the tension.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like? What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes. And you know what I'm saying. Yes. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. He's black. Go on. He's bald. Does he look like a bitch? What? Does he look like a bitch? And why you trying to fuck him like a bitch, man? Yes, you did. Yes, you did, man. You tried to do. Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. You read the Bible, right? Yes. So there's this passage I have memorized, sort of fits. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Anyway, that was just to ease tension, but the rarest record vinyl I have, that would be the Trivium one right there below. Because there are only about maybe 700 of these. I could be wrong, the count may be off, but 700 of these in total. I happen to have, I think, number 267. That came all the way out from Germany. Couldn't find any of these in America. So that, to me, that is the rarest record that I have. I think the second rarest that I would have would probably be the Black Sabbath one, because that's actually originally my father's. So that belongs to him. But the Metallica one was given to me by a friend in high school. I ended up getting the other three. The Ride the Lightning one, surprisingly, was actually from Hot Topic. That's like the one good thing that they had there. Master of Puppets and Justice for All, I ended up getting at the vinyl record store. I think I got the Black Album from there as well, too. I think Iron Maiden was pretty much from the same area. I got the Ride the Lightning vinyl record, and then I had originally another vinyl, but it's probably somewhere else. I also have a George Carlin vinyl somewhere else, but it's kind of like that. Oh, and believe me, I still have the CD too. As a matter of fact, check this shit out. Still got them to this day. Ooh, to the Metallica, like 2 pages. I've even got the Ozfest stuff when I was actually at Ozfest in Texas when Metallica and King Diamond were playing, which is awesome. And I don't like to boast, and I'm not saying that I should be taking credit for one thing, but it was during the From Whom the Bell Tolls. I got the fucking crowd started on the whole I thing. I was fucking happy about that. But that was like a glory day for me. And I was also on the Jumbotron during Apocalyptica. So that was actually a pretty cool thing. I was headbanging while Apocalyptica was playing their music. So it was like a Beavis and Butthead moment. I will have to search that up for the end. I have, like I said, I only have this one, and I believe there was another one like in the other area, like in the other room. I think that's with the George Carlin one. That's the like 1978. I'll have to look up those, but there's those different ones. But I'm gonna continue doing the vinyl collection area, but since my financial situation has changed a lot drastically, I had to save my money up, and that collection's gonna have to wait. Believe me, collections aren't going anywhere. Believe me. Actually, as a matter of fact, I forgot to mention this because it's not on the wall because I gave it to my dad for his Father's Day present. I have a Judas Priest vinyl record, which is also the Sad Wings of Destiny. My dad originally had it back in the 70s, but he had to get rid of it at some point. I guess he had, he needed money for stuff back in the day, but you know how tough times are. But I decided to give it to him for Father's Day as a kind of to jump back a little bit to how life was when he kind of owned those records. So we actually have a Judas Priest record here, and I believe we also have the Free Will Burning album as well too in that closet. There's an entire collection of vinyl records that he owns that are in that closet. So I gave that one. So the original thing is that actually was something that I bought for him, but he's like, nah, you can go ahead and keep it. So it's pretty good. I would actually have to check out that one. Like I said, I do want to go and collect more Black Sabbath albums, and I do want to collect a little bit more. I want to see if they have any Immortal albums, because that's one of my other favorite bands. Is a black metal band. That, and also because I have Iron Maiden, but I also want to get their Power Slave album in there because I have it on CD, but I want to get it on vinyl, and I also want to get some more Judas Priest albums with that as well too. And then I guess in that part, I do wish that I had a little bit more of that collection in there. Ooh, Opeth. Yes, I want the Window Pane album. If they have a vinyl record of Window Pane, I will take that one too. I want that so bad. Whew. Was there anything else that I wanted to cover on there? Oh, yes. If anyone's interested in football sports, if you guys want to do something called fantasy football against people, I'm not saying because I'm only doing mine against my my associates at work. But if you guys are interested in doing sports and all, if you have a favorite sports team, do fantasy football. That stuff is amazing. If you want to do bragging rights for it too, go for it. If you want to actually go in to win $40,000, try doing that too. Holy crap! Right now, I'm just doing mine for just bragging rights. So okay, so I got a Packers fan in here, so that's pretty cool. I'm a Cowboys fan, but like I said, I'm respectable for anyone who actually has a football team. But Packers are pretty good. I think Aaron Johnson's a pretty good quarterback, by the way, too. I wanted to get him for my fantasy team, but I have Mahomes and I have I have Manning. I have Eli Manning from the Giants. So there's that. I got Beasley. That I went to high school with Cole Beasley, by the way. He's a Cowboy. I went to high school with that dude. So that's actually another famous person that I've met because I went to high school with him, and his mother taught me in team leadership, and was also one of my teachers in middle school. So there's also that thing. That's another thing I forgot to address when meeting famous people. So in a way, I kind of have a connection with the Beasleys. That's pretty cool. So that kind of reminds me of home a little bit more. I've heard Clay Matthews is was pretty good along that team along with Aaron. I think Aaron Jones. I have Aaron Jones from the Packers on my team, but I think I had to trade him because he's under questionable right now. So I don't know if he's going to be playing anytime soon. Because he was my my running back, and I had to swap running backs from him. But he was cool at the time, but I had to swap out Aaron Jones. But it's pretty much to that point. So I mean, like I said, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I got some Atlanta Falcons in there. I have Giants, Packers, and I got the Titans for my defense league. So that's pretty much like that. And also, I did forget to mention that I am possibly going to try to bring back some gaming recordings from Star Wars: The Old Republic and bring them onto Vidly. So we'll try that too. What about the Gators? Or am I talking college football though? Because I don't hear much about the Gators. Like I said, I could be talking about college football at that point. Or is that wait? Is that basketball? Hold on a sec. Yeah, okay, so that's college. So okay. All right, so my bad. Because I don't hear much from Florida. I hear much more from San Francisco 49ers. I also hear much from the Packers, and I also hear much more from the Eagles. Pretty much the Cowboys and Eagles are pretty much like rivals with each other at that point. Yes, I am going to try to do album reviews. As soon as when I get some projects out of the way, I'm going to be doing the album reviews. For example, over the topics like these right here, but I'm also going to go into a little bit more. I'm going to try to expand the horizons a little bit, assuming that I can get some stuff out of the way at that point. Let's see. And I will try to come back on the collector series because there's a lot of things that I did want to kind of share. If you guys know The Legend of Zelda, for example, is a collector thing that I have. I also at least have the jewel parts for those. And Florida used to actually, Florida pretty much originally had the little chant, the ho, pretty much, and then Georgia adopted that to the Braves. They pretty much adopted Florida's chant. I do recall the mascot Flipper. There were times when I actually went into Jacksonville. I actually had family that actually were fans of Flipper at that time, around when the football itself was centered around its own certain mascots. Nowadays, we don't really have like a mascot. Because nowadays people just shit talk. They don't really use a mascot anymore. It's just weird. All right, so we still got about 10 minutes left before we start ending stuff off. This has been the fantastic stream so far. Despite the fact that we didn't get that asshole in here in the stream to debate, it still went pretty good. We went over a few subjects. We got some stuff out of the way, and there's some stuff that we pretty much got into the open. So I thought it was a good accomplishment. I got my little prop right there. Let's see, and then, oh, so I actually might get like something like a GoPro next time to kind of keep you guys a little updated. Try to do some guy 87 style version of videos. Because I might actually take walks around Vegas. Because I'm going to be stuck in this desert for the rest of the year because I can't go on vacation. So I might as well at least get footage worth and pretty much try to do something a little bit more to help keep the channel into entertainment. Because you guys don't want to see me talk in front of the camera all the damn time. I know you guys want to see me do something a little bit more, creative and productive. Now, if it came to a point where I can actually go out, hire a cast, and do like a, oh yeah, I was pretty chill on that one. And yes, I saw where that joke was going. You seem pretty chilled. But if I had my own cast, because I actually planned on doing this horror slasher movie, if I could actually go back out to Georgia, it was pretty cool. I actually had something kind of planned out. I just need to rewrite the script a little bit, but I wanted to kind of do something in pretty much in kind of like an homage to Friday the 13th and pretty much Leatherface in that way. Kind of to the big four of the slashers, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Leatherface, and Michael Myers. I wanted to kind of do something with that, kind of like with a samurai sword and pretty much a person who eventually ends up with a mask, which is pretty much burnt into his own face, which I like to call Oni, pretty much for a Japanese demon. So I wanted to kind of do something like that, but it's going to be hard because you don't have people nowadays. Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, he was the man for that. Speaking of which, isn't there supposed to be another Nightmare on Elm Street movie coming out with Robert Englund, like a recent one? Because I know we have a Venom movie coming out, but like I heard there's going to be like a reboot of an actual Nightmare on Elm Street. Ow. Oh yeah. And I am keeping an eye out to see if my financial situation has changed a bit. So. Oh yes, with Jamie Lee Curtis. I know that for a fact. Now it would be cool to see another Friday the 13th if they actually went on to do an original, area. Because I know they've done an original script that they wanted to keep Jason on, but I would like the idea now for Tommy Jarvis to be like the new Jason. Pretty much taking on the new role because that was originally the new role they were going to actually put in the Friday the 13th series back in the 70s and 80s, where Tommy Jarvis would take over as the killer and he would be the new Jason Voorhees. But people didn't like that idea, so they kind of stuck with the idea of resurrecting Jason. But I would like that idea for Tommy Jarvis to do it. I should definitely look into that. Do I have any Opeth albums? I have two of them at least. I have the Window Pane one for CD, and I think I have the Ghosts. Is it called Ghost of Perdition? Hold on, I might have been spelling it wrong. No, I'm sorry. It was Ghost. Ghost Reveries. I have Window Painting, Ghost Reveries. I don't have anything else after that. Yeah. I think the Paradition was their first song, and then afterwards, but when I was introduced to Window Pane first, that didn't actually have any you know, it didn't really have any heavy shit in it, but it was still pretty much an ambient album nonetheless. It's actually pretty awesome. I like how there is ambience with that one, but you still have ambience in Ghost Reveries, but you still actually had your heavy and dark sound to it. It's also gritty too, but you also had a neat balance of clean vocals. So I guess that's what made it kind of good in its own way. And it actually had some good dynamics too. Woo. 5 more minutes. And also, guys, if you haven't seen also DBZ Abridged, their finale for season 3, episode 60, I would recommend watching that right now because that is a funny take of it. If you guys are a fan of the DBZ Abridged series, like I said, it's pretty great. Go watch it too. If you also want to watch Joker Rising, I recommend watching that too. Watching my friend's channel, Damien Skyfire. If you guys enjoy the rants he does, go watch him. He's another channel that I do recommend as well. With that in mind, only one last thing to check, and then we're going to end the stream off here in about 4 minutes. This has been fantastic, and I never thought we actually could do something more accomplished here. So, with that in mind, let me do one quick thing. Oh. Okay, so everything seems good so now. Can I do Mark Hamill's Joker? Ugh, you're no fun at all, Freddy boy. Sid, you've had a busy day. All this running around, actually, all this craziness and running around with Batman. I can't do his voice all the way, but I can do in some regards to impersonation. But oh my gosh, Robin, my boy, you do not know how to let up. No, I can't do it. But I guess I try to do my own version of Joker in some way. I can't do Mark Hamill's, but his version is like the best when it comes to it. And of course, I can do my own impersonation of Herbert the Pervert. Something like that should be good. Always drink plenty of water there, children. Mm-hmm. Then there's also my Hank Hill impersonation of selling propane and propane accessories and whatnot. I can do those, and then there's also my meatwad impersonation because I can also talk in front of this mic. I can also do that as well. And then there's also my Nico impersonation. I can also talk in front of the mic. I can't do any more impersonations after that, but it's because I come from a long area and also in Liberty City. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that also reminds me, I can also do Butthead, well, I can also do that impersonation as well. Hi, baby. Come to Butthead. Yes. You will come to Butthead. Masturbation? Yeah, that's my impersonation of, Butthead. But then there's also my impersonation of Beatus. I don't know, Butthead. That road looks like he's going pretty fast and stuff. Don't be scared, Beavis. Just start running fast as soon as you hit the ground. It'll work. Ah! But that's my impersonation of it, and that's just pretty much how it goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 minute. Actually, no, we are actually out of time. I thought we were 1 minute away. We are at the 7:30 mark, and I will end this off right here saying to Lemmy, in some accents I can mimic. I'll have to get to those at some other time. But thank you, everyone who came out, and thank you guys who actually came and kind of left. I do appreciate you guys just watching this and kind of chilling, having fun, man. This has been a great 2-hour live stream. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, everyone, from Chelsea, Lemmy, to everyone else, Damien Skyfire, and to everyone else who was the other person that also came out as well. That would also be... Let me scroll down here. I know you're somewhere. Something right. I don't see him on here. What happened to him? Oh, well, I mean, that's fine. I'll figure it out. But anyways, thank you guys. I do appreciate you guys. Have a good night. This has been cool. So, peace sells, but who's buying? Good night, everyone.